provide that any person who is accused of an offence punishable by imprisonment for 5 years or more should be disqualified from contesting an election, even when the trial is pending, provided charges have been framed by a competent court. The Commission reiterates that such a step would go a long way in cleansing the political establishment from the influence of criminal elements and protecting the sanctity of the legislative houses. The counter view of this proposal is based on the doctrine that a person is presumed to be innocent until he is proven guilty. We are talking about lawmakers of the country. This is what we are talking about. The Commission is of the view that keeping a person accused of serious crime, where the court is prima facie satisfied about his involvement in the crime and consequently frame charges, keeping them out of the electoral arena would be reasonable restriction in greater public interest. There can be no grievance on this. However, as a precaution against motivated cases, what they said was it may be provided that only those cases which were filed prior to 6 months before should be proposed for disqualification. In fact, even in the midst of last election, the Patna High Court had passed an order that persons behind bars cannot contest elections on the basis of an application by the Election Commission. This order was actually stayed by the Supreme Court. You know why? The observation was that the Patna High Court should not have been passing such an order while the election process was on. We do everything possible to protect the criminals. EC is an empowered body, but it also has certain restrictions. It has powers to change staff during 3 months prior to election. It has no role outside this period, and this role is limited by a Madras High Court judgment, in fact. And the EC has actually filed in the SLP, which is waiting to be heard. In the case of incomplete affidavits, PAN numbers missing, EC is helpless. In the case of a wrong affidavit, only the returning officer has the power to go to court. If someone provides sufficient prima facie evidence, RO does not have the power to reject an application for incomplete or incorrect affidavits. There are a number of proposals which the Election Commission put forward in 2010, and one or two of those issues we are going to be debating later on, like mutual voting and so on. So I think rather than go through that list, I think let us just see what is it that we really want. Yes? Dil ki baat hai. We want to ban criminals and remove those already in the legislature. We do not want candidates to be imposed upon us. We would rather have those who are known to the locality, who can be trusted. They've done some good work. We want the right to reject candidates with wrong antecedents, and in this respect, we want to exercise an informal choice at the time of casting our vote. But this is a very important thing. There has been a lot of debate on this. The EC puts things on the website, but when you're there, when you're, imagine, not very well informed and educated, you're going there to cast your vote. At that time, if on the EVM there's a thing highlighted, look, this man has got wrong antecedents, you have an informed choice then. You can make a choice. We want to see an enforcement of the SC Directive on declaration of antecedents, and want to see that any attempt at concealment or misinformation should be made a criminal offence, resulting in recall and severe punishment. At the moment, affidavits are a joke. No one cares. We want to debate the merits and demerits of proportional representation versus first past the post. This is something we are going to be taking up later on today. We want to see transparency in the functioning of political parties. Their detailed accounts and sources of funding should be in the public domain, and any concealment of misinformation should be subject to severe punishment. We want to be able to, electoral funding is a huge topic. It's a very important consequence of electoral reforms. We want to debate the various options for funding of elections to try and arrest the influence of money and muscle in politics. We want to see the empowerment of Election Commission to be able to act against excesses such as surrogate advertisement. We want to see restriction of government response to that. I don't know if you remember when this Anshan was going on Ramlila, just before the settlement, the newspapers were full of full-page ads, several ads, about extolling the virtues of Rajiv Gandhi and the various things. Who's paying for all this? Has anyone bothered the question? The Election Commission was formed as an independent body to Article 324 of the Constitution. But the appointments to these offices are based on recommendation of the government to the President. Where is the independence? And the appointees, after they've served their term, look forward to lucrative appointments. So they won't go against the ruling party. I think we need to also ask whether or not there should be an independent commission of some more independent folk to determine this. And this fact, of course, has not been put up by the Election Commission of India, because it is not in the evidence. I mean, this is a list which I've prepared. Now, we've had this desire to change going on from 1998, 2004, when EC put up some requirement, 2010 again. We've had several debates ourselves, conferences held in 2008, 2009, and there are many people. FAME is another group which are doing this. One of the serious debates we need to have is how do we move forward now? There's no point in just having these debates. We also need to know how do we move forward. You can't rely on the Anna Hazares of the world to do everything for you. Right? This has caused a general awakening amongst the people. We need to build on that and see how we can move forward. I'll leave it at that. Thank you very much.
Mr. Trivedi is an IT and engineering professional who's also the co-founder of NNFI, and along with Mr. Pramod Chawla has been working on electoral reforms for a long time. And through their network, they have been spreading awareness about this among citizens.